Hello, good morning, everybody. Nice to see you. Welcome to today's IELTS Speaking live lesson. Today, the topic is shopping and consumerism. We're going to look at lots of language, collocations, idioms, useful phrases, and a listening task as well. It's going to be great fun. Lots of fun and games. Let's begin right now with this. Hello there, my friends. How are you? It's great to see you. Welcome to today's lesson. I'm very excited because we're doing this. We're doing shopping and consumerism, right? Which is going to be exciting. I've done shopping before, but today I wanted to focus quite a bit more on consumerism. How much we consume and buy things. There's a bit of a culture of consumerism around the world. We'll be discussing that, which will be interesting, especially for your IELTS Speaking Part 3 questions and answers. So, a quick hello. Let's see who is in the house today. We've got Zorshibidek. Nice to see you. B, first time, welcome. We've got Alamgir. Nice to see you as well. H, Sidhu, nice to see you. Glory Manda, all the way from Malawi. Lovely to see you here. We've got Vasil von Spira, all the way from Ukraine. Welcome. Nice to see you here. Who else is here? From Thailand, Pordi Dipor. Lovely to see you. This is very, very nice. Now, I would like to begin just by sharing with you a message I got recently, and it was very, very nice. I just want to share it with you. This was from, I'll show you here, from Fazana Nila. She said, "Hi Keith, I'm from Bangladesh. I would like to share the news with you that I got my result yesterday, and I got 8.5 in speaking with an overall band score of 7. Whee! Well done you, that is fantastic. I'm lost for words to thank you. I have achieved this score in speaking only because of you." Well, not just me, because of you, Farzana, mainly. But well done. That is fantastic. Very, very pleased for you. So if any of you are taking the test in the near future, fingers crossed, best of luck to you. Also, a quick shout out to all the teachers in the world. In the UK today, it's Teachers' Day. No, yesterday, excuse me. The 5th, yesterday, was Teachers' Day. A lot of you have said thank you. I'd like to say a big thank you to all the teachers around the world, whether you're kindergarten, primary, secondary, university, or private academy, or even a freelance teacher. You're all doing an amazing job. So listen, belated happy Teachers' Day to all of you. Lovely. I also got an interesting picture. Right, this was by a lovely person who sent it over. Let me share this with you. Right, I'm going to put myself over here because this is absolutely brilliant. This was from Uneya, and she sent this little drawing over. I mean, look, it's perfect. It's me. Absolutely brilliant. Uneya Jayasinghe. Listen, thank you so much for that. I thought it was brilliant, and I was tempted to do a bit of capture. Look, how cool is that? I mean, I could do the whole class like this. I thought it's fantastic. So thank you so much for sending these things. They really do make my day, make me extremely happy. Okay, great. So everybody, welcome in. Now then, what else have we got today? For those of you who are new, if you're on YouTube, then please do press that thing they call the YouTube subscribe button. There it is. If you can press that, turn on notifications, you can find out about upcoming live lessons. The live lessons, for your information, right, are once a month. It's the first Thursday of every month. If you want more live lessons, you can join the Gold course, where we do more live lessons during the month. But for here on YouTube, and Facebook, actually. We've got the first Thursday of the month. Lovely to see you here. Also, if you don't know, I have that's my email address. What I wanted to show you was the website, the Key Speaking Academy. If you want to find out more about my work for IELTS speaking in particular, go and check out the Key Speaking Academy. You can download for free my ebook about the 10 most common mistakes in IELTS speaking. It can help you get the score you need if you're taking the test. Okay. Excellent. Good. Let's check in. Where are we? Kanti says, Mr. Keith, happy Teachers' Day. Very, very nice. So, Carl, belated happy Teachers' Day. Lovely. Thank you very much. We've got Betty from Zimbabwe. We've got Shakiro from Uzbekistan. Pom all the way from Thailand. Gosh, all over the world. Brilliant. We've even got Tsuza from Myanmar. Nice. Good. Sandamil from Sri Lanka. I am interested, actually, where in the world are you, right? I've got this question. That's the question. Where in the world are you? If you just put in the chat box the country where you're from, I'm gonna connect you up with this thing, right? It's called a magic map. This is absolutely wonderful. It's done by the guys, I'll have to show you over here, the guys on Streamer Live, right? So when you put your country in the chat box, you can actually see here, I can see where you are, right? So I can actually zoom in a little bit and we can see we've got quite a few people down here in the Ivory Coast, Nigeria, some in the south of Spain, Italy, we've got a few. Up here, Belarus, Ukraine, Iran, we've got 5. We've got quite a lot from Iran. Great. A lot over here in kind of East Asia, Central Asia, Pakistan, India, Bangladesh as well, quite a lot. Down here in the south of India, over in Indonesia, 5. Japan's got 2. North Korea, wow, maybe that's South Korea, yes. Also Madagascar. And even in Australia, down below. Good day, mates. Look at that. Absolutely amazing. Streamer Live. I really love this. It's a great tool for teachers. If you want to check out where people are on your live streams, go and use it. Streamer Live. Very, very interesting to see where you're all from. So today, as I said, we're going to do consumerism. Let me just talk you through so you're clear about today's lesson. The lesson normally lasts about an hour and a half, but don't worry, I'll keep you motivated as we go through. The topic is shopping and consumerism, right? That's what we're going to look at. We're going to kick off first in a moment, looking at vocabulary. These kind of from simple to more difficult. I'll start simple, then build up, right? So things like shop for clothes or go shopping or to shop around. What does that mean? To window shop. What does that mean? So we'll be looking at lots of vocabulary and then, oh my God, it's a sales rush. We'll be looking at the pros and cons of consumerism, right? What are the good things about consumerism and the bad things about it as well? We'll be looking at idioms as always. For example, this one, to talk shop. What does that mean? Does it mean you're talking about shops? Does it mean that you're going to buy a shop? It could mean lots of different things. After the idioms, we're going to move on and play a game. In fact, towards the end of the class, we'll finish with a game of Kahoot, which is a fun game to test what language you have learned today. So stay awake, no sleeping, because I'll be testing you at the end of the lesson. Okay, so that's what we've got in store today. Very, very excited. Shopping and consumerism. Look, now got 57 in India, Pakistan and Bangladesh and 20 in France. Or maybe that's not just France. I think that's the whole of Europe. Love it. Very, very interesting. So listen, let me just check in with you guys, see how you're doing. Kidzone, do you record the class? Kidzone? I didn't know I had children watching me. Yes, we do. I mean, this is recorded on YouTube and Facebook, so you can go back at any time and watch it. Absolutely. Yes. Brilliant. Good. So I'm going to move on to have a look at speaking vocabulary, right? That's the first thing we're going to look at. IELTS speaking vocabulary about shopping. I've got a warm up, right? I want you to fill in the gap with one word. I like to go shopping blank clothes in the sales, right? Can you fill in the gap? I'm going to use Streamer Live again, right? And I want you to put in the missing word. And the bigger the word, the more people are using it. I like to go shopping clothes, doing. Budapest, that's from where you are. For seems to be very popular. I can actually see you putting up your comments here. Guys, doing, nice. I like to go shopping for clothes in the sale. Absolutely right. Well done. Lovely. I like to go shopping for clothes in the sales. Okay, good. So go shopping for clothes. Notice that the for becomes f because normally the prepositions we don't stress. Shopping for clothes. You stress shopping clothes. Shopping for clothes. It just becomes a shopping for clothes, right? So you would say, I like to go shopping for clothes in the sales, right? Perfect. I think here that is the only option. Right, let's have a look at the next one. I don't have any money. I am just blank shopping. Let me run this one as well. I'll put it up over here. I don't have any money. I am just blank shopping. Let's see. As you put in your words, they should start to appear. Fingers crossed. I can see lots of answers coming up from people. But it's not working over here, is it? Come on. There's nothing coming up, but I can see you all. Look, Damiao, Window, Boba Fond, Seren, Salma. Yeah, unfortunately, it's not coming up here. Let me try and refresh. Ba-dum-bum, ba-dum-bum, ba-dum-bum-bum-bum. Listen, as that starts to refresh, I am just, as you're absolutely right, most of you said, window shopping, right? So shopping, window shopping doesn't mean you're going to buy a window. Window shopping is just that you are looking in the windows, but you're not going to buy anything, right? You're just window shopping. Excellent. Good. Window shopping. Now, next one. I'm going to try one more, see if it works. Number 3, let's try this one. I haven't made many blank this week. Tom, the sales manager, is not going to be happy. Let's try. What's the missing word? I haven't made many. Let's see. Bill says sales. Sales. Whoops. Sales. Ty says sales. Harmon says plans. We've got purchases. I haven't made many purchases this week. Marta says sales. Neka says sales. Money. Sarah says money. Dan says purchases. Chica says sales. Sales, money, punches. Sonia, why would you make punches? Interesting. Emmy says purchases. Right. Revenues. Okay. Interesting. Any other ideas? Bought? Not really. Bought is not a noun. Bought is a past participle, but not a noun. Plans, orders could be. Canwell says orders. Yes, Fatima, just answer in the chat space. Exactly. Revenues. A few of you have said revenues. The thing with revenues, right, is it must be singular. Revenue is uncountable. So you could say revenue, like Yun says, but not the plural, right? Okay, so let's put in some possible answers over here. I haven't made many sales. That's the one I was thinking of, right? I haven't made many sales this week. Purchases. Tom, the sales manager, is not going to be happy. Now, if you've bought things, why would your sales manager not be happy? I don't think purchases make sense, right? Because you're going to be selling things. You're not buying things. I haven't made many. Now, some people put profit, but no, because profit, it would be, I haven't made much profit. So you can't say profit, right? I haven't made much profit. You can't say, I haven't made many profits. Again, profit normally is uncountable, so it's much profit. So here doesn't fit either, doesn't work. And the same problem with revenue, right? Although revenue is uncountable, it would be much revenue. So because it's many, it has to be countable. It has to be a countable noun. So profit, no. Revenue, no. What else came up? Orders. I haven't made many orders. It could be orders, yes. I haven't made many orders this week. Often when you make an order, that's when you're buying things, but it could be understood as selling things. I haven't made many contracts, many orders. You could have contracts, right? Sales contracts if you're selling big quantities of things. Mistakes. I haven't made many mistakes. The sales manager is not going to be happy. That doesn't make sense either. Mistakes doesn't work because then that he would be happy, right? If you haven't made many mistakes. Okay, those are the main ones. Those are the main things. Excellent, good. Nice. That's just to warm up. Let's have a look now at a bit more vocabulary around shopping first of all. I'm going to start quite easy and then build up. So first of all, of course, nouns, right? A shop, or in America, a store is much more common, a shop or a store. We can talk about very commonly a department store. Again, in America, often they say a shopping mall. I think that's a bit more American. In the UK, we tend to say a shopping centre rather than a shopping mall, or a department store. So this is a huge building. It's a huge shop that has different departments. There'll be the perfume department, the clothes department, the sports department, so on and so forth. Let me show you the biggest shopping centre in Manchester, which is where I am from, right? Old Trafford. No, not Old Trafford. That's the football place. It's the Trafford Centre. The Trafford Centre is, I think, Manchester's biggest shopping mall or shopping centre. Salma, adios. Look at this. It looks like something out of Kuala Lumpur or Saudi Arabia. Palm trees. I mean, it looks very, very splendid, right? It's absolutely massive. It's very regal, very royal. Beautiful, roundish building, huge dome in the middle, lots of areas to go shopping and eating as well. There's a food court. It's a very, very nice place. But it always surprises me when I see the palm trees there. I mean, seriously? Come on. Palm trees in the middle of Manchester? Doesn't make sense. But they've created this isolated kind of tropical climate, right? So That is what we call in England a shopping centre or a shopping mall. Now, in recent years, I mean the last 20 years, I guess pop-up shops have become quite fashionable, right? So a pop-up shop, pop up to appear, right, suddenly, is a space that is leased or rented. Rented is often for living space. If it's for commercial reasons, we say leased, right? A space leased for days or weeks to sell products. So leased or rented, just to make it clear for you. So it's rented for days or weeks for a short time to sell things. Boom, a pop-up shop. You can find out a lot more about pop-up shops here. I'm going to take you to this website. In fact, let me ask the guys if Burns, you could share this link in the website to everybody. I'll see if I can share it as well whilst I'm here. There we go. It's not letting me. Why not? Why don't you let me do that? Come on. Anyway, whilst I'm getting that done, let's see it. Let me try again. One moment. Now, pop-up shop. What is a pop-up shop? I show you this website so later you can go and have a look. But to discover the idea and the vocabulary, right? Short-term retail. So retail is when you're selling things to customers. And basically a pop-up shop is the term given to a shop or store that is deliberately temporary, right? So it's a store that pops up for a limited period of time to achieve a particular goal. Pop-up store, pop-up retail, right? Becoming more and more common, challenging the traditional brick and mortar retail. Look at the language. So brick and mortar is made of bricks, the real stores, the real shops. The traditional brick and mortar retail of long leases, flagship stores. But listen, you can go and have a look at this. There is some lovely language here. It talks about the benefits of a pop-up shop. So remember, this could be useful as an idea to talk about, right, in your IELTS speaking. Benefits for the brand benefits. You can reach potential customers. They can do market research via this 2 or 3 week experiment. Who can open a pop-up shop? Well, fashion is very common. Art and artists, very common. Look at all of that. Listen, it's a great website, storefront, if you want to learn some nice vocabulary to talk about shops and pop-up shops in particular. You can go and check it out and see, well, have a look in your own time, right? Brilliant. Burns, thank you so much for sharing that. That's great. Lovely. Burns is our moderator. She helps me out an awful lot in the live lessons. Lovely. Let's move on then. Pop-up shops. A one-stop shop. This is another common expression when we say a shop providing different products or services in one place. So often it's a bit like a shopping center, but it's one shop. So if for example, your bicycle is broken, sometimes you need to go to one shop to get the tires fixed. You may need to go to another shop if you want to rent a bicycle, or then another shop if you want to buy a bicycle. Some shops are a one-stop shop. You can fix the bike, buy bikes, rent bikes, everything to do with bikes. It's a one-stop shop. Again, a nice phrase, a nice expression, and something that's very, very popular. Okay. Usama, long time no see. Lovely to see you here. What about a high-end shop or store? Nice expression. High-end means an upmarket shop or an expensive shop, right? I'm going to add that on because it's good. High-end shop equals basically selling expensive stuff. An upmarket shop, not market, market. So upmarket, let me just take that up so you can see. High-end, upmarket, all meaning expensive, posh, so on and so forth. Nice, great question, Usama, lovely. Anything else? Ivano, is it like a temporary shop? The pop-up shop, yes. So the pop-up shop is a temporary shop, yes. Mr. Dave says, what about a kiosk? So a kiosk is a shop that is always there, but it's not made of brick and mortar. They're normally kind of very small, selling newspapers, right? Often the newspaper kiosk is kind of small. We've got grocery stores. Yeah, good. Question, have any difference between leased and rented shop? So basically, as I mentioned, a leased shop is for commercial reasons. So for shops and stores, normally you lease a space. When you're going to live somewhere, you rent a space. By and large, right? That's the idea. Retail shop, great, Sarah. A retail shop sells to customers, but a wholesale shop sells to businesses, right? So retail is a great word, right? You really need to know this. A retail shop. Thanks, Sarah, for bringing it up, right? So that's a shop selling to individual, let's say, individual customers. We often call it B2C, business to customer, right? However, wholesale, and you can talk about a wholesale shop or wholesale something, is, save yourself some time, Keith, is a shop selling to businesses, right? And that we often call B2B, business to business, right? Excellent, good. Some nice expressions, very, very, very useful. Great, you're coming out with lots of expressions, lovely. So we've looked at shops, right? The nouns, shop, shopping mall, pop-up shop, one-stop shop, high-end shop, upmarket shop, retail shop, could be a rap, could be a song, yo, bro. Let's move on to a sale. The noun, right? Now, this causes confusion. A sale has two meanings. Give something in exchange for money. For example, when you buy something, right? How many sales have you made today? Do you remember the example at the start when we talked about, oh, I haven't made many sales. My sales manager will not be happy. How many sales have you made today? So it's a noun, it's a countable noun, right? Or it can be when goods are sold at a lower price. For example, the store is having a mid-season sale. Or there is a sale on meaning open, happening this week in this shop. Nike are having a sale this week. Okay, it's the context that tells you if it's number one or number two, right? Clearly, Nike are having a sale doesn't mean that they're selling things. It means they're selling things at a cheaper price, right? A sale on. We often talk about mid-season sale in the middle of autumn, middle of summer. Shops will also then have an end-of-season sale at the end of autumn, the end of summer. There may be a winter sale, like the whole of winter, the whole of summer. A clearance sale is when everything must go. They're getting rid of all the stock to make room for the new stock, right? That idea that everything must go. You'll see that in the logos when you go to the clearance sale. So these are different kinds of sales. It has two meanings, as you can see. You've got use as a year-end sale, exactly. Yuja, Why is it not Nike is having a sale this week? Oh, because Nike is a business and it can be singular or plural. It's a bit like the police, a team, Manchester United, the government. There are certain nouns, Yuja, that can be either singular or plural. Companies is one. You can say Nike is or Nike are. Manchester United is or Manchester United are. The government is or the government are having a sale. The government doesn't have a sale, of course. Sorry. Good. Same question. Good. Sale is same with a discount. Not exactly. Not exactly. So a discount refers to how much money you save. Like the discount is $25 or $20. The sale is the event, right? It's a different thing. The sale is the event of selling stuff. So maybe that's a good way of writing it, right? An event. A discount is an amount of money. Okay, it's a great question, Tam. What we also say is on sale. Now, this is a fixed collocation. Items are on sale, which, to confuse you, has two meanings, right? It can be either available or at a lower price. So you may hear, for example, these shirts are not on sale in this shop. Probably means not available, right? Or let's say shirts are not on sale in this shop. We only sell trousers. Okay. That means not available. They're not on sale. But if we say these shirts are on sale this week only, the context tells you it's a lower price. Okay? So shirts are not on sale, meaning not available. But the shirts are on sale this week only, it's the lower price. The context helps you, right? Okay. Excellent. Good language. Yeah, some good. So just some great expressions here. I'm going to take us back because we've got reduced to clear, a clearance sale. Everything is reduced to clear. Lovely expression. Very, very good. And somebody else said a liquidation. Tao Joe, well done. Liquidation sale. I think we can say that. It sounds very Latin, very Spanish. Liquidation sale. But I think you can. I'll double check, but I'm pretty sure you can. Okay. Lovely. So, talking about sales then, right? Two main meanings about exchanging money or things at a lower price, different kinds of sales. Remember, the sale is an event, a discount is an amount of money. And we can talk about being on sale. Good. Great. I need a drink. I wonder where my I lose my jingles. I've got too many buttons to press. Ba-dab-shee-be-doo-be-doo-be-doo-be bum bum bum. There we go. Good. So, we're looking at nouns, right? Let's move from nouns and have a look at verbs. Again, starting very easy and moving up to shop. So we've talked about a shop as a noun. Of course, it's also a verb, to shop. Remember, you shop for something. Remember the beginning of the class? To shop for clothes or food. Or to go shopping for clothes or food. Remember the for becomes fa, right? Repeat with me. Go shopping for clothes. Again, for clothes. Go shopping for clothes. Nice. You can also go shopping for food. Okay. If you're going to go shopping for food, we can also say to do the shopping. To do the shopping. Let me make that clearer. Or to do the weekly shop. Okay. So to do the shopping or to do the weekly shop is when you buy food, right? For the whole week, right? So to go shopping can be for anything. And to do the shopping, it's always food. We understand it's food. We've also looked at the verb to window shop, which is to look but without buying anything, right? To window shop. Okay, those are verbs. Now, quite straightforward, I think. To shop around, to look for the best price. The idea is you go from one shop to another shop to another shop, and you're looking at the best price when you're going to buy something, right? Now, it's interesting to shop around because lots of people like to shop around to find the best price. Other people don't care. I had a student who said to me, Keith, I went into a shop in England and I said, I want to buy a computer. And the assistant smiled and said, of course, sir, let me show you. His friend said, don't say that. What? He said, don't say, I want to buy a computer. He said, why? He said, because you're telling the shop assistant you're desperate. You need a computer now. And so later, you can't negotiate. It's interesting, right? I want to buy a computer. Of course, sir. Let me show you. Is there a discount? No, sir. Of course, the assistant says no because he knows you want to buy a computer. So in English, it's much better to walk into a shop and say, I wanted to buy a computer. I wanted. When you put it in the past, it means maybe I will buy, maybe not. I wanted to buy a computer, but maybe I'm going to change my mind. That simple going in the past allows you to negotiate. You could also say, I'm thinking of buying a computer. Much better, right? Because then the shopkeeper will be, oh, okay, right, maybe you're going to buy, maybe not. He doesn't know. So you're in a stronger position. I'm thinking of buying a computer. Even stronger, go in the past tense. I was thinking of buying a computer. Okay, sir, let me show you. And then you can negotiate. So it's important. Language is important in the shops, right? Don't say, I want to buy a computer. Okay, negotiating 101. Let's move on. Right, to buy. So to buy is the most common word, right? And in IELTS speaking, you can say to buy. To purchase is a bit more formal. You could use that in speaking, right? I wanted to purchase a computer, so I went to the shop and this happened and that happened. You could say that. I think if you're in the shop, you don't say, I'm thinking about purchasing a computer. No. So it's a bit too formal. Likewise, procure is to buy, but this is where a company buys things. So again, IELTS speaking, you wouldn't say, I procured a computer last week. Unless your company, you are in charge of procurement for your company. Okay. Much better in IELTS speaking is to pick up or to snap up, right? To pick up. I went to the shop to pick up some vegetables. I went to the shop to pick up a new computer. That's much better informal English. Snap up means that you buy something quickly and normally cheaper, right? What we call a bargain. A bargain is something that is good value, usually cheaper. Nike are having a sale. I'm going to snap up some new Air shoes, for example, right? Right, okay, good. Let me check in with you guys, see how you're doing. Yoon says, I wanted to buy a computer. I was thinking of buying a computer. Good, exactly, good. Let me bring you around. Yeah, Zabed, I'm planning to buy a computer. Good. Sana, I wanted to buy a laptop. Great. You're going to be successful in the shops. April's still at work. Never mind. Agnes, I would like to buy a computer. Now, Agnes, that is polite, but you have no negotiating power because you're showing that you want it now. So it's polite and it's good, but you won't be able to negotiate. Anything else? Getting hold of something. Yes, Abika, to get hold of something. Getting hold of. Get hold of. Yes. And I'll put this up. To get hold of, it's a good point, right? To get hold of something is the idea of buying something, but because you're taking it, like picking up, right? I want to get hold of a new sofa. I want to get hold of a new phone because my phone is broken. It's true, actually. I need to get hold of a new phone. So rather than getting, but get, right, is good. I like that. Good. Adelia, why didn't I watch these online classes before? This is so useful. Adelia, welcome to the club. Alexander, is it the same as to grab a coffee? Yes, yes. Grab means quickly, right? To take quickly. Grab doesn't have to mean paying money, right? I'm going downstairs to grab a cup of tea, right? I'm not going to pay my wife for a cup of tea. So to grab doesn't mean purchase or buy, just means to take quickly. But on the context, yeah, I'm going to go to Starbucks to grab a coffee. I hope you will pay in Starbucks. Okay. Good. Sarah says, I spent most of my money on clothes. Nice. Spend money on something. Good. Great. Bargain means negotiations. Kazi, yes and no, right? Let me explain. It's a great question. Bargain. To bargain and a bargain is not quite the same thing. So a bargain is something at a good price, right? What we call good value for money. Why is it that color? A bargain, something at a good price, good value for money. That's a nice collocation, good value for money. However, to bargain is to negotiate. Negotiate the price, right? Not to negotiate a treaty like a government thing, but to negotiate the price in the market, right? It's a good idea to bargain in the in the farmer's market or the street market. So that's noun and verb, right? Small difference, important difference. Great question, Kazi. Thank you so much. Jamilo says, I'm going to snap up an iPhone. Lovely. Love it. Good. Good. Keren, lovely to see you here. I'm looking for a computer. That's nice. Because you're not telling them you're going to buy, right? Ramiz, I wanted to buy a bicycle. Burak, I'm great. Thank you so much. Zasna, be careful. Not snack up, right? That means you're going to eat the mobile phone. I know you're hungry, right? But snap up. Okay, great. Great, lots of more ideas. Let's move on because we're looking here at, well, let me just check in. Let me show you where we are, right? We are here. We're looking at shopping and consumerism. I've just noticed a few people are late. Don't worry. We have been looking at vocabulary, right? Nouns, verbs, basic to some expressions. I'd like to move on and to get into the pros and cons of consumerism, right? Oh my God, it's a sales rush. Consumerism. Let's have a look more carefully at consumerism. Now then, just bear with me. I'm going to try and do something here. Hopefully this will work. But you never know. Let's try. Okay. I think that was South Park. Do you guys remember South Park? Yeah, of course we do, Keith. The pros and cons of consumerism. So what is consumerism? Well, consumerism is the preoccupation with buying more and more. The concern with buying more and more and more. So basically, it means that we are obsessed. Whoops, go away. We are obsessed with buying. Our society encourages people to buy and buy and buy. The marketing encourages us to buy and buy and buy. To consume, right, is to take, to buy stuff, right? So that's consumerism. There is another meaning, right? If we look up consumerism, maybe I can put it here. I have to go down further to fit it in. Consumerism is the protection or promotion of the interests of consumers. So protecting the consumer is also consumerism. But it has this other meaning about being obsessed with buying. It's interesting, right? I didn't realize this, but British English, we say consumer, consumer. In America, they go consumer. It's a s, consumer, consumerism, consumerism. But in British English, we say consumerism. There's a shoe, like Nike, shoes, not quite. So consumerism, but we're concerned here with the buying more and more, the culture of consumerism, right? Why do people buy so much? So my first question is, which is the biggest advantage of consumerism? And I say which because I'm giving you a choice, right? The biggest advantage of consumerism. Let me show you if this works, right? I'm going to try and do this here. Oh. Okay, this might work. I'm going to see. It's not quite what I was looking for, but it's not good for the environment. Absolutely. That makes total sense. It's helpful. It's more useful. And there's somebody asking me, how often do you go shopping for clothes? Oh. It hasn't given us the options. We had some options. Oh, unfortunate. It's... oh dear. It can bring huge profits to business. Okay, that's good. It can create a lucrative market. They keep moving, don't they? It's very difficult to follow. Very, very difficult. Oh dear. Never mind. Keep your top comments coming. And I'll pick out some ones we can share. Here we go. The biggest advantage, right, of consumerism is good for the economy. CPDET says more options are available. It makes traders rich, right? It makes the companies rich. It's useful for us, absolutely. It can boost the economy. Great, Junwei. Mira also says it can boost the economy. Hooray says consumers have a variety of choices. Nice. Increased sales. I would say increasing sales. I would say increased sales, right? Increased sales. As a, yeah. Economic growth. Great. Christina. Fish Red says more convenience. Absolutely. Neural also talks about economic growth. It's good for local markets. Tax question mark. Tell me more. Provide funds to the government. Well, yes, okay. Through VAT, right? The value-added tax you're paying when you buy things, you pay tax. Give more funds to the government. Yes, of course. The society of consumerism. Exactly. That's it. Yes. Okay. So I'm just going to check in on the website if it works. I have a question. More useful, more helpful, boost the economy, economic growth, being updated, increased job opportunity down here. Good. That's nice. Okay, excellent. So there are lots of different ideas. Let me kind of recap and sum up for you over here, right? The advantages. So you've all talked about access, right? A wider choice, a variety of choice. It means as well you can follow the latest fashions, right? And fads. A fad is just a fashion. We can buy items or products from all over the world. We have a wider choice, right? You talked about that. Indeed, we are often spoiled for choice. Spoiled for choice is a lovely expression. When you're spoiled for choice means you have so many options or choices that you are like a child in a candy shop. You're spoiled. There's too many, and it's not good for you. There's chocolate, there's sweets, there's candy, there's snack bars, there's nugget, there's midget gems, all of it. You're spoiled for choice, right? There's too many choices. So it's a slightly negative idea that there's too many and it's not good. So we're often spoiled for choice. Technology has made consumerism, great word, consumerism. We can buy stuff at the click of a button, right? Again, that's a very common expression. That's one of the main advantages. There's also therapy. Buying something new is a kind of therapy. A therapy helps your psychological state. Retail therapy has become a bit of a fashionable buzzword. Retail therapy. It helps you. Buying stuff helps your mental state. It can cheer us up. No end. Cheer up to make happy, right? No end. I taught that in one of my videos recently, right? No end means a lot. It's idiomatic. It doesn't mean infinite. It's just a lot, right? It can cheer us up no end. It can make us happy a lot. So therapy is another reason, another advantage. Another is growth. You did talk about this. More consumption can lead to economic growth, right? Economic growth, great collocation, good phrases to learn. Okay, excellent. What about the disadvantages? What are, I'm not giving you choices then. I think something's gone wrong with my system. Never mind. Let me try. I'll see. It hasn't remembered the options. Oh well. What are the biggest disadvantages of consumerism? Guys, in the comments, let's share them and let's see. And as you're sharing, let me put on some new music.
Yeah.
Some people are in debt.
No.
Without the S, Marcos. Yep, good. Debt again. Lose one's mind. Lovely, Dana. Lovely. Throwaway culture. Nice. Lovely language, Sepida. Environmental problems are exacerbated by consumerism. Where did you learn that? Lovely language. Lead us to debt. It's not good for the environment. We need the when we're talking about the environment. Yes. Lovely. Great. Let's bring that to an end. The disadvantages. So a quick summary. Really, really nice. Well done. Lovely ideas. Let's add them here. Disadvantages. And I will kind of summarize, and then we can add some extra ones that you've pulled in. Talking about values. So a consumer society can lead to a distortion of values where people value material things rather than relationships. Somebody talked about obsession with materialism, right? An obsession with things rather than people was good. There's a few people talked about values. We lose our mind. We go crazy. Somebody talked about mental health problems because of this, right? Because, yeah, I mean, there's a lot of reasons. It's partly because you're comparing yourself with others and trying to keep up. Partly because you forget about people and just become obsessed on things, right? Okay. Addiction is another one. A few people mentioned addiction. We can become addicted to shopping. Just be careful with your preposition. Addicted to shopping, right? And when you speak, the to becomes ta, because your stress is addicted shopping. Addicted to shopping. Addicted to shopping. It's a good idea to speak out these phrases if you can. We become addicted to shopping. D, 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 D. You can even practice that. D, 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 D. Become addicted to shopping. Lovely, great. Okay. So our happiness is in the next purchase or the next hit. The hit is talking about drugs. When you take drugs and you get a hit, boom, and you get high. It can be like that, right? We become addicted to shopping. And related to that, people talked about this one, debt. So be very careful because the B sound, boom, is dropped. It's debt, right? So it's actually pronounced debt. D-E-T, debt. And it's uncountable. I noticed somebody had debts. No, it's not. It can be both. You can have debts. It can be both. Of course, you can have debts. But the expression to be in debt, right? To be in debt is uncountable. It's the singular, right? Which means to owe money. To owe money, you must give back the money. The problem here is with the influence of marketing, people end up living beyond their means. Living beyond their means is a great expression. To live beyond your means means you spend too much money. It's a common thing, right? That some people, you earn 5 and you spend 6. Well, of course, you're living beyond your means. You're living with money you don't have. You're creating debt, more worry, more stress, heart attack, possibly. But living beyond your means is a great expression, right? To live beyond their means. And this is a very British expression, to keep up with the Joneses. To keep up with the Joneses. The Joneses are the neighbours next door. Did you know in England, everybody's neighbour is called Mr. Jones? It's true. Doesn't matter where you live. Manchester, London, Edinburgh. Everybody, Scotland, I know, everybody has a neighbour called Mr. and Mrs. Jones. The Joneses. And these are the neighbours who have the better car, the better house, the better television. And so you try to keep up with the Joneses. You try to buy a better car, buy a better house, so that you can keep up with the neighbours, keep up with the Joneses. Lovely expression. It's very, very funny, but it's great. And it's very British, but I think you could use that in IELTS speaking. I think most, even Americans, will understand it. And maybe it's used in America, maybe. Okay, so we're putting in here, this is debt, disadvantages, right, about debt. And also about the environment. You did talk quite a bit about the environment. Some of you talked about excessive production has a negative impact on the environment because industries like clothes industry use non-renewable resources. That's one of the problems, right? Is that it's not just producing more. I mean, producing more jobs, more wages, we can buy more, but they're often producing with non-renewable resources. So we're depleting our resources. Somebody had that, and I was trying to find it. Resource depletion, Sabika, well done. So we can suffer resource depletion. I'm not sure suffer is the best word. We have resource depletion. We will have resource depletion. Yes. What else did we have? I'm looking, wasteful lifestyle. That probably comes under lifestyle, environment maybe, right? A wasteful lifestyle. Because the more food you buy, the more packaging you throw away, the more plastic you throw away. It's true. Yeah. Okay, brilliant. I'm just seeing if there's anything else that you put in I should put in here. Too much waste. Yeah. Too much waste is partly environment, partly values, about the moral idea of wasting stuff. The throwaway culture. Somebody put in the throwaway culture. Again, this is becoming quite a popular expression, right? The throwaway culture. So don't repair things, throw them away, buy a new one. Not so good, right? Not so good indeed. So all of these are different disadvantages. Okay, excellent. Where are we? Keith, where are we? We've been looking at the pros and cons, the advantages and disadvantages of consumerism, which will be great, not only for IELTS speaking, but also for your IELTS writing. Okay. Now then, I'm going to share a website with you just before I move on. It's another interesting one. It's this one about consumerism, pros and cons. And again, if you want to review language and learn some new words, it's worth visiting. It's also interesting, right, that now there is a big pushback, is a rejection against consumerism and towards minimalism. So you've got this other idea, especially younger people, the idea of consuming less, living a minimalist lifestyle. I think is quite interesting. But you can check out the website. Again, if you could, Burns, if you could share this, I can put it here. I'll just put it up and share with you. This is Consumerism, Pros and Cons. Vitana. Let me bring it over here. It's interesting. So you'll find things like stimulate economic growth, boost creativity, cost reductions. Okay. Some very, very useful language. It weeds out the poor performers. So to weed out is to get rid of those that are not performing well. It's very, very true. It encourages freelancing, entrepreneurialism, another ism, and so on and so forth. I will let you, the cons, right? I will let you look at this in your own time, but it's a very interesting website. Again, I think it's full of it's full of ideas, full of great language. Takes a bit of time, but especially after the class, in order to review, it's good. It's a good idea. They do say, researchers say, if you don't review what you're learning within 24 hours, you forget 50, 60%. However, if within 24 hours you review stuff, you retain it up here much better. There are two ways to review. One, you can download the PDF of today's lesson and review. And two, check out these websites. Bit of reading, bit of nice reading when you're in bed or relaxing with a cup of tea or whatever your tipple is at the end of the day. Okay, nice, good. What is next, Keith? Good question. Idioms. No, it's not idioms. It's not idioms. I'm going to do a listening task with you. I forgot to put it in. Never mind. Let me show you over here. This will break things up a bit as well. Listening task. I want you to listen to this passage, to somebody, and answer this question. Somebody's me, right? How many advantages and how many disadvantages do I mention? So listen carefully and make a note. How many advantages and how many disadvantages? Okay, and then we'll look at the answer later. Are you ready? If you're ready, just give me a thumbs up in the comments section. Give me a like if you're ready, then I'll know. Nobody's ready. If you're not ready, I'm going to share some comments. It's so helpful. Good. Extremely useful. Great. Good. Ah, now. Good. 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 Okay, I've got the thumbs up. If you're ready, let's do it. Remember to count. Here we go. Consumerism. Well, yes, that's a tricky topic these days, especially with this ever-growing divide between the haves and the have-nots. I think, generally speaking, consumerism, yes, it can be good. It can lead to an access to a wider variety of goods and products. We can buy things from all around the world nowadays, and technology facilitates that, buying stuff at the click of a button. I think also, consumerism, it's a kind of therapy. I think what people call retail therapy. So if you're feeling a bit down in the dumps, you can go out and buy stuff and it can cheer you up no end. So that's a positive side. Also, many people argue that as we supply more, we demand more, and this is a growing cycle which leads to economic growth and prosperity for many, many people. Of course, there are the downsides. As I mentioned before, people who benefit from consumerism are often those who already have money they can spend. So there can be a growing divide between the rich and the poor, which can be negative. I think also nowadays, with more and more consumerism, people's values are changing. People start to value material objects rather than relationships and people. And obviously, this is not a good way morally for us to go in the future. As people buy more, they almost become addicted to shopping, right? And to getting the next hit or purchase. Obviously, that's not a good thing. Another downside, I think, is a lot of people, with all the marketing that goes on, people are encouraged to buy more, to spend more. And so a lot of people live beyond their means. They're spending money they haven't got. So they take out credit, they get into debt. And of course, this leads to more stress and huge health problems for many, many people. Finally, I would also mention the issue of the environment. With consumerism, in particular, some key industries, and I'm thinking in particular of the fashion clothes industry and maybe the food industry. They're renowned for using non-renewable resources. And so the more they produce, the more negative impact they're having on the environment. And so that's a key issue nowadays as well. Good. I was snacking. So the question, what was the question? The question was actually, how many advantages and how many disadvantages do I mention? So for example, you could say 2 advantages and 3 disadvantages. Let's have a look what you've got. Nikki, 3 pros, 4 cons. Tong, 3, 5. Askar, 3 and 5. Jagmeet, 4 and 5. Elena, 3 and 5. Megumi, 3 and 5. Taizilia, 6 and 5. Ooh. 3 and 3 on Facebook. 3 and 6. Okay. Alan, 3 and 4. 3 and 5. Okay, lots of threes. 3 and 5. Monica, 3 and 5. Right. Interesting. Okay. Well, okay. I'm going to give you the answer. I'm going to give you the answer. And then, let me put this up here, and then we'll do something. Okay. I'll put the answer up here. The answer was 3 versus 5, right? Well done, Monica. You were spot on. A lot of you were spot on. There were 3 or 5. I think sometimes you may have heard an advantage and then a reason and thought it was 2. But the advantage and the reason is just 1, right? So it was 3 and 5. You can check. And I want you to do the following, right? I want you to listen to the passage again. Check your answer, which is 3 and 5, right? 3 advantages, 5 disadvantages. And note any useful collocations or phrases. I noticed some of you already are putting collocations, economic growth. There was a few urged before. Huge addiction. Somebody had divide the rich and the poor. Okay, this is perfect, right? Exactly that. So I want you to listen again. I've got subtitles to help you and check your answer. Was it 3 and 5? And make a note of phrases or collocations. Okay? Good. This time, because you're so focused, the subtitles will just help you check your answers. Are you ready? Ding, ding, ding. I think we're ready. Let's do this, okay? Stay focused. Stay focused. Stay focused. Whoops. Consumerism. Consumerism. Stay focused, Keith. Consumerism. Well, yes, that's a tricky topic these days, especially with this ever-growing divide between the haves and the have-nots. I think, generally speaking, consumerism, yes, it can be good. It can lead to an access to a wider variety of goods and products. We can buy things from all around the world nowadays, and technology facilitates that, buying stuff at the click of a button. I think also, consumerism, it's a kind of therapy. I think what people call retail therapy. So if you're feeling a bit down in the dumps, you can go out and buy stuff and it can cheer you up no end. So that's a positive side. Also, many people argue that as we supply more, we demand more, and this is a growing cycle which leads to economic growth and prosperity for many, many people. Of course, there are the downsides. As I mentioned before, people who benefit from consumerism are often those who already have money they can spend. So there can be a growing divide between the rich and the poor, which can be negative. I think also nowadays, with more and more consumerism, people's values are changing. People start to value material objects rather than relationships and people. And obviously, this is not a good way morally for us to go in the future. As people buy more, they almost become addicted to shopping, right? And to getting the next hit or purchase. Obviously, that's not a good thing. Another downside, I think, is a lot of people, with all the marketing that goes on, people are encouraged to buy more, to spend more. And so a lot of people live beyond their means. They're spending money they haven't got. So they take out credit, they get into debt, and of course this leads to more stress and huge health problems for many, many people. Finally, I would also mention the issue of the environment. With consumerism, in particular, some key industries, and I'm thinking in particular of the fashion clothes industry and maybe the food industry. You know, they're renowned for using non-renewable resources. And so the more they produce, the more negative impact they're having on the environment. And so that's a key issue nowadays as well. Lovely. Great. Well done. Now, a quick note. When you're listening, I know that listening is a very, very difficult task, especially if there are no subtitles. The key thing, I think, is just relax. If you don't understand every word, that's okay. Relax. Try to notice and pick out the collocations, the 2 words that go together, or the 3 words, right? Don't worry about everything. It's very difficult, right? Just pick out collocations. Notice the collocations. That's one of the best things you can do to improve your listening, right? So collocations, as you guys have noticed, things like become addicted, the next hit, end up, fell down in the dump, almost, you're almost there. Let me help you, Dana. Feel down in the dumps. To feel down in the dumps is to feel depressed and sad, right? Values are changing. Lovely. That's also, a phrase, collocation. Material changes. The rich and the poor, nice, very, very nice. Danish had wide access, retail therapy, economic growth, brilliant. Sepide, you got it, down in the dumps. The growing divide, lovely. That's such a nice, the growing divide, right? You can talk about the divide between the rich and the poor, but the growing divide, the problem's getting worse. Live beyond your means. It has to be with an S, Julia, but well done. You're picking it out. Great. Economic growth. Good. The growing cycle. Yes, that was there as well. Good. Cheer you up. Yep. Make you happy, as we saw earlier. Okay. Brilliant. So listen, really good job. Very, very, very nice. I'm just going to go through the subtitles briefly and pick out the useful collocations, and then we'll move on. Here we go. No, come back. Oh, no. There we go. Thank you. Consumerism. So I like this. The growing divide, right, I think is great. This ever-growing divide, ever-growing, is continually growing divide. So divide is good. Growing divide is better. Ever-growing divide, that's your band 8 stuff. The haves and the have-nots, the rich and the poor. Great expression. We talked about access to a wider variety of goods. I think that's a nice expression. That was number 1. That was the first advantage, right? It can lead to a wider variety or an access to a wider variety. We can buy things from around the world. That's the same thing. So I'm giving an example here, and technology facilitates that at the click of a button we've looked at before, right? And then number 2 was, I also think consumerism is a therapy, retail therapy. So that was number 2, good expression. And then I explain why. So I say, here's an example, and then give a bit more information. So if you're feeling down in the dumps, or a bit down in the dumps, meaning unhappy, sad, right? Basically, that means sad. I'm down in the dumps, feeling sad. You can go and buy stuff and it can cheer you up no end. We've looked at this before, right? Cheer you up, make you happy. A lot. Okay. So that's a positive side. Also, here's number 3. Many people argue we supply more, demand more. It's a growing cycle. That's a good expression you picked out. A lot of you picked out a growing cycle, or an ever-growing cycle, right? Which leads to economic growth and prosperity. So that was number 3. That was why we had 3 advantages. The downsides, disadvantages. So the people who benefit are those who have money. So there can be a growing divide, an ever-growing divide, between the rich and poor, haves and have-nots, which can be negative. So that's the first one, right? I think also, here's number 2, the people's values are changing. This was a good, I like this, changing values. Values are changing. To value material objects rather than relationships, it's not a good way for us to go. Not a good way to go. Not a good path to follow. And I've said here morally, okay. So that was number 2. And then I explained, as people buy more, they become addicted to shopping, to getting the next hit, addicted to something. So I think that's more of an explanation of number 2. Oh, sorry. No, obviously that's not a good thing. That was number 3. The addiction was number 3. Another downside, here comes number 4. A lot of people, with all the marketing that goes on, that's quite nice. That's very natural, right? You could say with all the marketing, but with all the marketing that goes on around us, more natural English, right? So people live beyond their means, we've discussed, right? They spend more than they earn. That was number 4. And here I explain they're spending money they haven't got. Take out credit is to take credit from the bank, take out credit, get into debt. So notice these collocations, right? And when you're practicing, don't practice debt, practice get into debt. I get into debt. I mustn't get into debt. Make sure you're practicing the phrase, get into debt. It will help your fluency. Leads to stress, problems, blah, blah, blah. Finally, here comes number 5, the issue of the environment. The issue of the environment, or the problem of the environment. Okay. Key industries is another good collocation. They are renowned for, so they're famous for, non-renewable resources. And so they produce more negative impact on the environment. It's a key issue nowadays. And that was number 5. So it was 3 advantages, 5 disadvantages. And that is all the collocations. Wow. Holy moly. A lot of language. But I hope the context and the listening and the reading will help you consolidate all of this language. You can go and practice it later, of course. Good. What's next? I know what's next. It's my jingle time. Jingle time means drink time. Ba-dab-shee-be-doo-be-doo-be-doo-be, bum bum bum. And now, of course, it is time. Almost time. If you can stay, I'm going a bit late, but if you can stay, I'm going to share a few idioms with you about shopping. When we're talking about shopping. Talking shop. What does that mean? Let's have a look. Let's find out together, right? Some idioms. Ba-dum. To cost an arm and a leg. I use this a lot to cost an arm and a leg, to cost a lot of money, to be expensive. My new bike cost an arm and a leg. My new bike cost me an arm and a leg. You could put me. You don't have to, but you could. My new bike cost an arm and a leg, or it cost me an arm and a leg. This is your chance, guys. If you want to practice some of these idioms, write them in the text, and I'll pick one or two to correct or to praise. Who knows? There are two idioms to say to pay too much. And the first is to pay over the odds. To pay over the odds. And if you pay far too much, to pay way over the odds. The odds is kind of just referring to the price. So here's the price or the value. But if you pay over the odds, you're paying too much. And if you pay way over the odds, you're paying far too much, right? To pay way over the odds. Or to pay through the nose. Bizarre, I know. To pay through the nose for something. I paid through the nose for this computer. It's a very good one, but it was very expensive, right? So to pay over the odds or to pay through the nose. $200, you paid way over the odds for that t-shirt. What is it? Nike? Gucci? $200? Come on. Great. Simon says, I paid through the nose for this PC. Yes. I pay over the odds for my wedding dress. Ah, that's true, but it's worth it. The new Michael Kors shoulder bag cost me an arm and a leg. Lovely. Great. Anna, absolutely delighted. Great. I'm delighted you're here, Anna. Nice to see you. Fred says, my new Apple Watch cost me an arm and a leg. Great. My mother paid over the odds for her new watches. Expensive tastes, your mother. Here again, Tanvi says, my wedding dress cost an arm and a leg. Wedding dresses, right? Very expensive. Jawaha, I had to pay through the nose for the phone or my phone. Let's add that in there to help you. My phone or the phone. Great. Excellent. Good. Other expressions I've noticed we've got it's dead expensive. To pay too much. Yeah, it's dead expensive. I'll add that up here. It's dead expensive. Somebody put it's a rip-off. It's a rip-off. A rip-off. Of course, these two mean it's too expensive. So, not worth it. Very expensive. So I guess what I'm trying to say is, if you say my wedding dress cost an arm and a leg, that's great. My wedding dress is dead expensive, that's great. However, if you say my wedding dress was a rip-off, then you're not happy. You're really not happy. And it's a negative thing. The first two, my wedding dress cost an arm and a leg, it's dead expensive. You're still happy, right? It's expensive, but it's worth it. But the rip-off is not worth it, right? Just to make it clear. So, Julia, you're great. I'd love to see you practicing. I would say it ripped me off. No, the article or the thing was a rip-off. You could say the seller ripped me off, right? So just to get that clear for everybody, the thing or the product is a rip-off, but the seller ripped me off. It can be a verb as well, okay? Julia, brilliant. I love to see you practicing. And look how we can help everybody else here learn. Nice. I'm looking at others. Ferrari car costs an arm and a leg. Yes, okay. Others, I'm checking. I paid way over the odds for a gun. Okay. The latest iPhone 14 costs an arm and a leg. It does, doesn't it? It does. Latest. Anna, yeah, I was ripped off. Yes, you can use the passive. Yes, exactly. And Twong says, when I got my salary, I paid way over the odds for shopping weekly. Good. I'll just tidy it up, Twong. When I got my salary, I paid way over the odds for my weekly shopping, just to make it a bit clearer, right? Excellent. Good. Some nice examples. I have a couple more just to share with you. To be going for a song, which means to be cheap. We've talked about expensive. To be cheap, to be going for a song. La 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 la. I'm going to buy these shoes whilst they are on sale. Remember? On sale. They are going for a song. They are cheap. To talk shop at last. To talk shop is to talk about your work. Okay? It's normally a bit negative. If you're talking about your work in your free time, then that can be a bit negative. So, for example, he's so boring. He's always talking shop at parties. Talking about his work. How boring, right? And a last one, to splash out, to spend a lot of money. Can I bring these all up in the same area? To splash out, I like to splash out on new clothes in the spring sales. We're bringing it all together. Great. Just see if there's any one or two more comments we can add in. Ali, my shoes are cheap as chips. Right, they're going for a song also. Good. Hit someone in the pocket, Kiki. You could also say it hit me in the pocket. Yep. Hafsa says, your courses are going for a song. It's affordable. Thank you, Hafsa, for the promotion. Okay. Joanna, this teacher I recommend with an open heart. Oh, that's very, very kind. Great. Armadov, welcome. Nice to see you. Thank you so much. Dirt cheap. Something's very, very cheap. Yeah, dirt cheap. To be dirt cheap. To be cheap as chips. I never say that actually, but I think I've heard it used, yes. Diorbek, I like to splash out on my mental development. Right. I'm going to help you. This helps me teach the important thing. When you spend money on something. So when you splash out on something, right? So let me make that a bit clearer. That was my fault. It wasn't very clear. So it's to spend a lot of money on something, right? Come on, Keith, get your teaching into gear. To splash out on my mental development. Love it. Nice. Maftuna, I've bought new shoes that they are going for a song. Okay. Yes, splurge out on is a similar thing. Splash out on, splurge out on. Yes. Uluguk, your course costs an arm and a leg. We've gone from it's cheap, it's expensive. Everything's relative, right? Simum, let's talk shop, everybody. Nice. What about splurging on expensive materials? Yes, you can splurge out on expensive materials. I couldn't believe my friends are splashing out on clothes and shoes. Lovely. Very, very nice. Yep, I like to splash out on traveling. In holidays, on holiday. You're almost there, Dipti. Almost there. Almost there. On holidays, right? On holiday. This, I think a lot of people will understand this. To learn English cost me an arm and a leg. Yeah, I know it can be expensive, right? Cost me, and thank you, Be English, but just add an arm and a leg, right? Remember the article. You must have your articles in there as well. Okay. Okay, very, very good. Listen, I'm going to stop here for the moment. We've been looking at lots of idioms and some good practice from everybody. The last thing I'm going to do, if you can stay, we're going to finish on Kahoot. And this is the end of the lesson where I'm going to test you. Do you remember the new language and vocabulary that we have learnt? Well, we're going to play a game together to test your memory and your understanding. Or your understanding, maybe. Okay. If you've not seen this before, it's very, very easy. We're going to play in a something called Kahoot. It's a website. And what you need to do is the following, right? You need to go to, if I can find it, to this website, Kahoot.it. So stay here watching me, but then go to the website. Maybe on your phone, you can go to Kahoot and you'll find the choices of the answer. It's multiple choice. Hooray! I love multiple choice. A, B, or C. C. The answer's always C. That's what we said at school, right? If you don't know, the answer's always C. Okay, where are we, Keith? Let me set this up. Go back to the old view. I understood the old view. I don't understand the new view. Why do they change it? I don't like change. Where are they? Oh, come on. Bear with me a moment. Seriously? Where are they? Stay with me. They've disappeared. All of my stuff has just disappeared. Here it is. Got it. Start. Okay, so, sorry. Go to Kahoot.it and we'll get ready. It requires a game pin. Yes, it does require a game pin. Absolutely right. So, Andrew, first time, no worries. Great. So, the question will appear on your screen here. And then at Kahoot.it, you get the choices. Well, you'll see. You can choose. So let me move that up here. Let me get rid of that. And let me change the screen to over here. We're going to play the classic mode. Get ready to join. Oh, it looks like Halloween's coming, right? Not yet. The game pin is 8854789. Burns, if you could share that with everybody. So it's 8854789. Sepida, you were the first one in. Okay, you can all join. Very spooky. Dun, dun, dun. I love it. It's the Kahoot music, but made into horror music. How cool is that? That is so cool. Okay, I'll just give you a few seconds to get in, everybody who wants to join. Great. You're in. You're in. Lovely. Lazy bear. Right, guys, hurry up. We're going to start in 10 seconds. Burns is in. Great. Right, okay. I'm going to start. If you can't get in, don't worry, okay? Because even if you're not in, you can just put your answer in the chat and I'll see the answer, right? But obviously, if you can answer through Kahoot, it's better. Right, let's begin. Here we go. First question. Consumerism. All these jackets are blank sale this week at rock bottom prices. In, on, at, up. What's the correct answer? So you've got 30 seconds. All these jackets are blank sale this week at rock bottom prices. In, on, at, or up. Well done, Dorsa. Monica, well done. Shrutika, well done. Yeah, 92 of you got that absolutely right. Yes, on. The jackets are on sale. Rock bottom prices just means very, very, very low prices. Okay, great. Well done. Let me just make it a bit bigger. Great. So let's see who was the fastest. Wow, the fastest was the pin number. BM was second. Joshi was third. Well done, guys. Question number 2. I'm not buying anything. I'm just blank shopping. Cheap door, window, steal. I'm not buying anything. I'm just blank shopping. Cheap door, window, or steal. What's your answer? You get 30 seconds to answer. Of course, those who answer the fastest get to the top of the podium. Well done, Ali. Violetta, well done. Hong Hao Dove, well done. Yeah, 123, got it absolutely right. Window shopping. Yes, window shopping. When you're just looking, you're not actually going to buy anything. Well done. Good. Let's look at the podium. Joshi has moved up into first place. Sepida, well done. You have now gone into second. And Tom from Vietnam is in third. Brilliant. Question number 3. You only want a new car so you can blank up with the Joneses. Stay, be, talk, keep. You only want a new car so that you can blank up with the Joneses. Stay, be, talk, keep. Well done, Jane C. Well done, Ali Islam. Well done. Mr. Ishak, well done. And the answer is keep. Of course it is. Keep up with the Joneses is to, buy as good stuff as your neighbours do. Do you remember when I told you that every neighbour is called Mr. and Mrs. Jones? Absolutely true. No, it's not true. Keep up with the neighbours, right? Keep up with the Joneses. Great expression. So well done, 104. Let's see how we're doing on the podium. Any change? No. Well, the top 3 are the same, but AQ is now 4th, Reza 5th place, and N is the highest climber. Great. It's the moment of truth. The last question. Number 4. How much you paid over the blank for that phone? Odds, evens, price, dollars. How much? How much? Get the intonation. How much? You paid over the blank for that phone. Odds, evens, price, dollars. Inkar, well done. Dorsa, well done. Ooh, Sukman, think carefully. Purag, well done. The answer was odds. You paid over the odds for that phone. Some people put you paid over the price. No, you can't say over the price. You can say you paid too high a price, but not over the price. Over the odds, right? That was it. Lovely to see over 100 of you got that right. Lovely. So here we go, the podium. Who is the winner? Third place, Tom, well done. And we've got Sepida, well done, second place. And at the top is Joshi, first place, well done. Love it. Great. Nice. Excellent. Well done. Excellent. Very, very, very nice. So, well done to all of you who participated and have not been sleeping in this lesson. So glad to see you here. Thank you so much. We've been looking today at the topic of shopping and consumerism. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope that you've learned lots of new stuff because today, well, what have we done? I mean, we've been looking at vocabulary, right? Nouns and verbs. We've been looking at the pros and cons of consumerism, where we've been talking about, well, the good aspects about access, about access and what else, Keith? Can I remember? Access, therapy, economic growth. The cons we talked about, values changing, addiction, getting into debt, keeping up with the Joneses and the negative impact on the environment, right? We've also been looking at some idioms to talk shop, things that are expensive, very expensive, pay over the odds, pay way over the odds, things that are cheap, going for a song and dirt cheap. And we've also finished up with the game of Kahoot. Listen, I realize it's been a long session, but thank you so much for joining. If you want to find out more, you can go to the keithspeakingacademy.com and there you'll be able to find out lots of information about IELTS speaking, IELTS preparation. On the homepage, you can look out for my free PDF about the common mistakes and you can download that for free. Just leave your email and I'll send you emails now and again with more resources to help you on your IELTS journey. That's it. Thank you so much for joining. If you're taking the test soon, well, best of luck. I hope that goes very, very well. And do let me know how things go for you, right? Do remember as well on the website, this website, you can download the notes from today. So all of those notes, that are over here, I will put into a PDF in about 1 or 2 hours. And then later you can go down to the Keith Speaking Academy, download that for free and help review. Remember, within 24 hours, review, and it sticks in your head. If you want to get in touch, I see a few people are asking for emails. You can just email me or Burns at team@Keith Speaking Academy and you can get in touch. Any questions that you may have, right? Listen, thank you so much. As always, it's been a pleasure. Really enjoyed it. Do join me for the live lessons, which are every first Thursday of the month. On Saturdays, I do have other videos coming out and the live lessons on the first Thursday of the month, which means in November, it's going to be the 3rd of November will be the next one. Okay, great. Let me get rid of all of these things. Dun, dun, dun. And that one. That's it for today. Thank you so much. Take care, and I'll see you soon.
I know you told your friend you're not okay, and tell me what's wrong and why you never said you felt that way. And guess you're trying to stay strong and fake a smile until I look away. But I've known you too long, it hurts to watch your blue eyes fade to gray as you fade away, as you fade away.
Yeah, I'm about to fade away, cause every time I wake up I feel like it's Monday. Something's going wrong with all the chemicals up in my brain. All of a sudden I don't look at anything the same way. Gotta build up of my thoughts sitting in an ashtray. I'm sorry that I'm so inconvenient, okay. Just let me be me and I'll stay out of your way. I can see the way you look at me, I'm such a disgrace. I never really asked to be brought into this place. You wanna love me? Well then baby, have a taste. All the highs and the lows, no, you'll never be the same. I don't really wanna hurt you, but I can't control the pain.
Great. You're still here. Let's go. Cheerio. Bye-bye.